And we have on standby as part of our contractual obligation a 24 hours emergency response team to patrol and to monitor the surrounding site. Public impact concern, possible environmental impact as described earlier, possibly we are talking about dust, noise and vibration. I think these are the major items that would concern. Our duty, environmental management plan, EMP. Approved EMP by DOE shall be implemented to minimize the impact to the public. Environmental management team will monitor and control the environmental impacts regularly in accordance with the authority's requirement and standards. The major concern, noise, and will comply as per the DOE guidelines within daytime limit of 65 dBA and nighttime limit of 60. Water browsers and necessary equipment shall be deployed during construction level to control dust level if any. Public impact concerns, potential local residents impact. Temporary shutdown for minimum hours for public service as described earlier, especially for such needs like probably electricity and water to facilitate jointing during diversion time. We will be giving advance notice in accordance with the local authorities' approval prior to start work, and of course we will also notice of shutdown notice will be informed to the local residents in advance. Safety, health and environmental program will comply with all applicable health, safety and environmental legislation and other HSE requirements. All the supervisory staff and construction workers shall be trained periodically at PDB's SHE Training Center at Sungai Buloh Airport for continuous improvement. We will also monitor and regularly review our set objectives. Okay, this is the overall MRT overall alignment. I think most of us have seen this before. There are some, I think our package that we are talking about today is actually package B4 as indicated above. This is basically indicative how the piers will look like along some part of the alignment. This is along Spring Highway behind Jalan Kasa. You will see probably viaducts at the median, proposed viaducts at the median. This is how the proposed PBD Pusat Bandar Damansara station will look like. Straddling Jalan Maruf along State Highway. This is along Pusat Bandar Damansara. This is where the viaducts will be. And this is in front of Peninsula Hotel. Yeah, looking up Sydney. These are very high piers, about 30 meters, one of the highest piers in this package. And this is looking from the other direction. At the same place towards the Semata Portal. Semata Portal is the other side. Yeah. Okay, this along Jalan Duta, heading towards Semata Portal is coming out from the slide. Yeah. Okay, this is section 16 station layout. It's basically near the Spring Toll Plaza. Yeah. Okay. And this is the layout, BBD station there. Okay. And this is Bantan station, right? Just opposite the Shell and Esso station, and then just opposite the Speedway. Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Pass it back to Maureen.
For package, can we start with the first question, please?
Sorry, how are you funding the entire package?
Come again?
How are you funding the entire package?
My funding?
Yeah, your package.
So it's a contract whereby we are paid for work done. So I think minimum funding except whatever for us.
For the initial stage?
Initial, they also have some advance payment. But we would like, of course, any contractor will have capital for your initial acquisition of equipment and so forth. That is the norm of doing business, no big issue.
Next question, please.
believe to answer your question, the PTB has done very stringent assessment of the tenderers' financial capacity. So, befitting the size of this job. Most of the contractors, I'm sure you know, that they are actually part of the public interest group. They do have their own shareholders funds and so forth. Right.
Actually, part of the tender evaluation process, we read media release a couple of weeks ago. Financial capacity of the bidder is also assessed. And clearly, Sunway awarded so already met all the criteria that it's supposed to meet. So I don't think we have an issue.
We have the next question.
5 total packages, not just for something we can have. At least 50 has been either awarded or in process.
50.
So how many more will be awarded this year?
By the end of this year, by December, everything will be all 85.
So that means you have what, 35 left to go.
Thereabouts. So by then, the big question would be asking what is the total cost of this project. And we'll know by December. So I'll just preempt that question.
There have been talks that, reports as well that it's going to be mostly about 50 million.
I wouldn't venture a guess at this point. Seriously, I wouldn't venture.
So it's by year end that we'll actually get the right.
Because once all the tenders are awarded, then we have a definitive figure that we can go to.
This 50 that you have awarded and in the process of being awarded, what's the total value?
I will have to get that to you.
We have the next question.
Sunway, I think any tendering jobs again, any more beside of this.
But this is, okay, we can talk later, sure. As a contractor, we continue to look for jobs. Okay, we plan to issue our order book.
I think 1.17 like that.
Our big boys have done over about close to the day. Our big boy have 2 billion per year.
Could we move on to the next question, anyone?
I just want to clarify, this is the first contract for Suncon for the MRT.
In fact, yeah, of course. Earlier we had a LRT package.
Okay,
I mean, this is the, yeah.
For the MRT, this is
MRT,
the
of course.
Will Suncon be able to also be qualified for other packages? The
Well,
ones that are not awarded?
they can tender. They're pre-qualified as well.
So they are pre-qualified for the other packages as well.
Would there be any limitation of the numbers of tendering for a single STATCOM? Would there be a limitation?
I think obviously the first thing that we look at is the capability of the company. But as a rule of thumb, is 2. 2 would be the maximum that we want. That will ensure that there is fair distribution, equitable distribution across the economy, across the whole place.
Just to add on to the tender with awarded, like we have for the elevated we have 8 packages. 1 been awarded, 4 been awarded, 5, 6, 7 been awarded. So left with on the elevated, it's on the elevated works. So left with B2, B3, and B8.
When will the 3 be awarded?
So,
Can you say in the current, the third quarter?
Could we have the next question? What about laborers? How are you bringing workers in?
Actually, a project this nature is require more heavy machinery construction. So what we need will be more of skilled workers, not so much quantity, more of skill set. You can see that the design that all are highly mechanized. You could bring in big machine to do to bore out. And even the launching, the casting of the concrete will be by machinery, by pump, and by really launching the. So I think it's more of how we can have adequate skilled workers.
We
we are going to centralize all these workers in a few of the camps that we have designed for. So this is to quarters, central level quarters, which one of it will be in Sungai Buloh, the other one is in MRT and in Kajang Depot. So all these will be controlled, all these workers. So it's all to minimize or anything on shipping bags or whatever.
The centralized labor quarters will house all the workers there.
Yeah,
To answer specifically your question, because we are using higher mechanized, what we require more are operators and all those categories. So Sunway have our own fleet of machinery. We have our own fleet of ball piling machine, our own fleet of heavy lifting cranes. So those are things that whereby we do have our own set of skilled workers.
Is the material cost a concern, and how will Suncorp address to that if there is a spike in material costs?
First of all, I think my personal view, there should not be any spike in material prices because first of all, the cost push factor. The raw material cost, the energy cost, I don't think they are going up. I just want to assess this way. Second thing is because the versus demand, the local production capacity has not peaked, maybe at 70%. The contracts provision, I believe more of PDB to that. PDB can call tender, supply major material like steel bar and so on to, hopefully that will help us to stabilize the price if need be.
We have a centralized system on this to, for what we call for e-bidding on the steel reinforcement. So all these prices are under control.
Yeah, they can also invite international suppliers if they are compliant with standard.
So all the contractors, throughout the project to send e-biddings to us and we'll get information and it should be under control.
Could we have the next question? One last question.
This
Regarding
regarding
you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or your contract is sincere 24 hours? And some yes, hotels,
You need to, of course, I think as far as we are concerned, as long as the authority allows, we would like to work 7 days a week. Because sometimes working on weekends could be lesser traffic impact to the user. So subject to all this detailed discussion with the PDB as well as the authorities. Sometimes it's better do night time, certain not provided we comply with the noise level to minimize the inconvenience to public. Right.
Just to add on to that, you see, like as what we are doing is segmental box girders, you see. So all the piling works and the substructures, we will be doing it at the daytime. But comes to segmental launchings where you're gonna bring all these from the casting yard, you see. So then you do not want to disturb the traffic during the daytime. You may go to the night to do the launching where there are less traffic. So that is to balance the whole thing.
And just to reinforce the point that we made a couple of weeks ago as well, if we do any lane closures at all, or road closures, lane closures, not road closures, it will happen between 12 to 5 a.m. so that there will be minimal disruption to traffic. 12 to 5 a.m. is the only time our contractors are allowed to close the road. If at all there's going to be any diversion.
Only lane closure.
Lane closure.
Break 3 lanes to 2 lanes. We cannot close the whole road.
If there are any diversions, then it's 1 for 1. We were to close this road, this lane, then we have to divert, create another lane to the other reserved area.
But in general, we are going for lane narrowing and replacement 1:1. That is the basic concept that we are going for. So there's less disturbance to the traffic.
Yeah.
When do you see this project contributing to your earnings?
From this current year,
SPED announced yesterday that they're going to spend an estimated of 160 billion until 2020, right? So this MRT project is part of that 160 billion. Can you give a percentage of, an estimated percentage?
I'm sorry. I will not be able to. If I give you an estimate and it's wrong, I might lose my job. So let's not get. Another 6 months, we'll give you the full
So
amount.
by the end of the year.
So I was also told at the press conference yesterday that some XX amount has been allocated for the MRT project. Can you say how much has been allocated?
They said XX.
From that 160
I'll go
billion.
YY. Can't give you. Okay, that was
Yeah, this is regarding the BD Plaza. So there's been a disruption into their tenants. So in order to make way for MRT, is there any solution or any way to?
Can we take this offline, of course?
All right.
Because package before.
Just before we end, I just want to thank everyone for coming, but also to remind everyone, key infrastructure for Kuala Lumpur, which will change Kuala Lumpur's lifestyle, I suppose. If I can bring 20,000 people in one direction to one location, I think that will, and we assume that 20,000 people could be in half of them in cars. So I could potentially be taking out 10,000 cars off our roads in KL an hour. So we need to all huddle up and go through this inconvenience for the next 4 to 5 years. And then in 2016, the first phase ready, 2017, the second phase is ready. We will have a public transport system that Malaysians can go overseas and speak of. If you go to London, you take the underground, no problem. You go to Hong Kong or Singapore, you take the underground, no problem. It is time now that Malaysians themselves decide that the underground is the way that the MRT is the way that they're going to take their travel as a